Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. What's up, 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 what's up?
What's going on, crypto maniacs? Welcome to another episode of Black on the Reds. Your host, Token Black. Happy New Year and a late Merry Christmas. Back at it again. Sorry for the long wait. And we're another video. Sorry, Dave Ramsey. Another video. This is Dave Ramsey. He's talking. Some guy called in, and he has a few questions about his investment. As you can see here, just listen. He made a substantial amount of money in Bitcoin, so he decided to call in to Dave Ramsey to get his advice. Let's listen.
And it's ballooned into this huge account now worth roughly $100,000. So one of the things I want to do with it is obviously pay off the car, but it's not quite enough to pay off the house. So I guess my question is, do I wait with this volatile asset, or do I sell it all and move it into something more traditional? Because over the course of 2020, I actually did the figures, and it's earned me 649%, and the
Did you hear that? He has over $100,000 in Bitcoin. I think before this he said he only invested, I think like maybe 10 grand. I mean, not many people have that disposable income to invest, but hell, if I had 10 grand and I knew I'd make $100,000, I'd do it. Also, did you hear he said it grew over 600%? That's insane. Like, I've heard of people making money, but I've never heard people. I've never actually seen or heard somebody like making, a substantial amount of money in Bitcoin. I mean, I heard millions, but you never really hear people talking about making hundreds of thousands of dollars in Bitcoin. Everyone's all of a sudden a Bitcoin millionaire. No one's a Bitcoin thousandaire. So I think this is why it caught my attention.
expectations are that it could go even higher. Now, it's a volatile asset. It swings now every day.
Keyword here is he's saying he keeps calling it a volatile asset. There's a lot of volatile assets. Stock market can consider volatile. Real estate can be considered volatile. Hell, even gold and other stuff like that. Like I said, it really depends on what you plan on doing with it. If you have your faith that Bitcoin will do what it does, I do. I mean, of course, Bitcoin goes up, fluctuates fairly sometimes, but it hasn't bottomed out yet. You know what I mean? That's expected. It's unregulated, so it's expected to have those fluctuations, right?
It was worth, the swings now are more than it was worth a year ago. So I guess I'm just kind of nervous about.
That could be said for real estate, right? A year ago, what you invested in real estate is probably not going to be what it's worth now, right? Stocks. I mean, if you invested in Tesla a year ago, it's probably worth more than you invested, right? Even if you invested $100, it's probably worth more than $100 now.
keeping this large amount of cash in this volatile asset, but still having to worry about a house that I'd like to pay off in the meantime.
Yeah, you got Vegas problems, man. I mean, you walked up to the slot machine, put a quarter in, and it dumped a bunch of quarters out, and now you have this
Right.
temptation to think that's a plan.
Yeah. I disagree. See how he compares it to Vegas? He's essentially saying he got lucky and gambled. Not really. But really, any investment is a gamble, right? You're hoping that it goes up. You're hoping that you make a profit on what you invested in. So really, any investment is a gamble. Hell. But the difference here is he didn't cash out when it got higher than his initial investment. He held on, and because of that, he has $100,000. So that is the premise of holding. Even though it goes up a little bit, hold because it can go even higher. It can also bottom out, but the chances of it doing that are probably pretty slim, right?
And thus is the problem with anything that is a extremely volatile asset, to use your phrase, and also unpredictable, which is the volatility. So you're asking me what I would do? I would cash it all out tomorrow.
Well,
I wouldn't have been.
You hear that? It's unpredictable, and he told him to cash it out tomorrow, which is a dumb thing. By the way, I think this video was from... Yeah, it's from a year ago, and he told him to cash it out. I mean, just think about it. Bitcoin went up to almost $100,000. So what do you... If he didn't cash out, what do you think his investment would have been if he still held on to that? You think would it definitely been more than $100,000? Sorry, I'm just still getting over the flu. Definitely been no more than $100,000 if he'd have just held it.
Been in it in the first
Right.
place, though. So,
well, I'm single. I felt like I could afford to take the risk. I had a snowball plan for all the other items,
yeah.
and the next two
Well, that's
items
what the
that are
guy
on
told
my-
me when he was playing the.
He said he wouldn't have never. Dave Ramsey said he would have never invested in Bitcoin. I want you to take a look at his body language. He looks like a guy who says he didn't invest in Bitcoin because he missed out. But me personally, I don't believe he didn't invest in Bitcoin. I believe he probably invested in Bitcoin. Because a lot of people say it, talk shit on Bitcoin, shit on crypto market, but secretly have their crypto stash investments somewhere that they don't tell the closet crypto investors. There's a lot of those out there. Publicly they shit on it, but privately they're checking the markets and seeing what's the next hot thing.
The roulette wheel too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
No,
you know,
I
I
understand.
can afford to lose the money, and I call this entertainment. And he lost. You know, I
Yeah,
stood
good
there and
way to
watched
put
him
it.
lose $10,000 and at the blackjack table. So, you know, you can do whatever you want to do, but you're asking me what I would do. I wouldn't have been in it in the first place, and I wouldn't stay in it, and I would cash it out tomorrow, and I would put the money on some common sense things.
Yes.
Instead of playing. You know, you're sitting here explaining to me all the problems.
Yeah, but I do agree with taking some of it out and diversifying his portfolio, buying some regular stocks, a little bit of real estate, so it's not all sitting in one basket, which is a smart thing to do. Hell, even invest in some different crypto like Ethereum and Litecoin. But you don't want all your eggs sitting in one basket, and it's okay to go out and spend some on yourself. Take a little vacation or something. Nothing wrong with that.
With the investment.
Yeah.
And, you already know what you need to do.
Yeah.
You just want somebody else to say it out loud.
And he's trying to justify it with his age. Like, I'm young. I have time to lose money. I don't care, man. I'm young. I do not have
Time to lose money.
To lose money.
What's that mean? I can get over my stupid later?
Right.
There's nothing stupid about investing in crypto. So what? He's young. He's got money. He can make money. Different ways to make money. He's a single guy with no kids. So being young is okay to make mistakes. It's okay to invest in stuff and lose money. Hell, you can get 3 jobs when you're young and single. It's not a stupid investment. Although risky, but not stupid. But any investment is a risky investment. In any investment, you can lose your money. Remember that.
I'm in debt. I have a car that I probably, I want to say that. You probably can afford the car, but you couldn't afford the car because you financed it. But anyways, what I'm saying now is I agree with Dave. Be young, be wise, cash it out, pay off the car, and
Take your
I disagree. Be young, be brave, be naive, but don't cash it all out. Cash some of it out. Hold some of it. Because you never know. It might go up to $1 million. And then you cash out at $100,000. Now what? You're kicking yourself. Be smart.